Okay, now that you are officially moved over to Zimbra, I want to show you a few more things within the system and to kind of help you do your daily things you have to do, like send email and compose and change your font and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to show you a couple more things. I am sad to report that we are unable to change the theme colors, so no cool purples or greens. We're kind of stuck with the blah gray, but sorry, that's how it rolls. All right, so I'm going to log in. I want to do that. I'm going to show you an easy way to do shortcuts. Okay, so, and by the way, I'm using Chrome. I had used Zimbra earlier today with Internet Explorer, and I was having some issues. Some things were just kind of stuck, and it wasn't very nice. So I'm using Chrome, and what's good about Chrome is you have what's called the bookmark bar. That's my bar up top here. If you don't have a bookmark bar, or if you have no idea what I'm talking about, if you go to your crescent wrench, this is where all your settings are for Chrome. Bookmarks, I have the show bookmark bar checked. If you uncheck it, notice you do not have the bookmark bar. I'm kind of naked. So I'm going to go back and put it on because I'm going to show you how to make a quick and simple bookmark so you can get to your email so you don't have to keep typing in or going to the website. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this green padlock thing. And this works for any website, by the way. If you go to a website and you want it on your bookmark bar, you grab the icon and the address, and you just drag it onto your bookmark bar. That black line is showing me where I can stick my bookmark here. Okay, so I'm going to put it right at the beginning because obviously email is something I'm going to use a lot for work. Now, it says Zimbra inbox. Okay, well, I'm going to change that because I want something more dramatic like MCC mail or long pile of things to do, something like that. So I right-clicked it, and I'm going to go to edit. And I'm going to call this MCC mail. Big capital letters. And I'm going to save it. So now I have a Chrome bookmark right here when I need it. Okay, so kind of easy. You can jump around different websites if you need to. I highly suggest doing this. It keeps your life organized, especially as a teacher. You might want to put your gradebook in here. You might want to put other emails, things that you access often, stick them up there. Okay? All right, we are in. Let's talk about a couple things. How about making an email? So to make a new email, you hit new. Now, new, you can do a couple things. You can type in here, you can change the font color in here, but let's say you're pretty regular, you're going to stay with a 14-point font, you know what color you want to use. I'm going to show you how to set your font permanently, okay? So since this is a preference, you prefer to have your font a certain way, we're going to go to preferences, and we're going to make sure that composing and preferences are both checked. Now, if you notice, default on Zimbra was to have this clicked as text, and that's kind of boring. That's just like 10 point blah, all right? As HTML, make sure that's clicked because then it gives you the ability to change things around. So I had picked the professional font, 14 point, because my eyes are getting bad again. You know, it happens, you get older. And my color is a dark gray. You can use whatever color you'd like. Just keep in mind it might be hard to read a really light green or really light yellow. You probably want to stick to the darker colors. And not only do you have to make sure this is checked, but you have to make sure you hit save, okay? Now here's my snazzy signature. You can learn how to do that in the email signature in Zimbra video. That's also on the Dell Ed Tech channel. Okay, so if you're interested in that, that's where you can find a video on how to do that. Okay, so if I start typing blah 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 blah, oh, I don't want that to go there, and I accidentally pop something open. See, I shouldn't just be randomly clicking buttons, but I want this gone. Delete, delete, and I'm gonna just type up here. Now, one thing that will happen is Chrome will underline this and say, yeah, that's not a word. Okay, no way is that a word. Well, in Outlook, we were able to do spell check. You can do sort of the same thing here in Zimbra, and I'm going to show you how to set that preference for spell check every time before you send it off because, I'm not the best typist. It happens. What you do is since you want spell check to work, it's also a preference. You go to preference, composing, just where we were before, right? So I showed you how to change your font and color, but if you notice, I have mandatory spell check before sending a message checked off. If you uncheck it, it won't do the spell check, but if you check it, you get an option of spell checking, okay? And it's a little bit different than Outlook. Also, while I'm here, just letting you know, reply forward using format original message. If this is checked, and let's say someone types you an email in like 8-point font, whatever, really small, kind of blah, and you hit reply, it will type it in the same font that the person sent it to you in. So I keep mine unchecked because I like to reply back in my own special font. That way, when you have a bunch of emails, you can figure out what you said and what someone else said, okay? So I have that unchecked. I am going to automatically save drafts because sometimes I start typing an email and I get distracted or something happens and I forget where I was. Zimbra will save that for you so you can pick up where you left off. Okay, so now that I have this checked, I'm going to show you what happens. Oh, by the way, whenever you make changes, make sure you hit save. This is kind of crazy. You can right click just like you would in Microsoft Word, and yeah, I'm not getting any suggestions for my crazy word. But if you notice, what I can do is if I did some weird words like this and it doesn't look right, I can right click and it'll give me suggestions. So I can do that. Okay, to send this off. So this kind of butts up against something else I wanted to show you. To send an email. Now, in Outlook, and after you use email for a while, whenever you put in some letters, people will show up. Well, you haven't used Zimbra for a while, so you need to tell it who you're looking for. What you're going to do pretty much at the beginning is use the to button. Okay, and here's all of us loaded. And if I wanted to send an email to myself, I'm going to put in my first name. And I'm going to search for myself. Oh, there I am. So I'm going to highlight myself, and I can make myself the to recipient. Hit to. The other way I could do that, let me show you. I'll highlight this and remove that person. So if that's a mistake, you can remove them. I can also double click and it would go over there. Okay, that makes me the to person. Now, if I select myself again on the left column, I could also carbon copy myself, or I could blind copy myself. So this will work for other people if you want to send other people to your emails. All right, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to send one to myself. There I am. And that way, next time when I'm in Zimbra and I go to to and I just put a D or a DAL, it should find me. Okay, now that I'm here, I'm going to send this email off with these crazy spellings. Now, I don't have a subject. That's okay. I'm just going to hit OK. But notice now Zimbra tells me I have 6 things that are misspelled. I want to correct them. Well, there can't be 6 things there. There's only 5 words or 4 words. So there must be something else up. I'm going to hit yes. And what Zimbra does is it highlights things that are misspelled. Now, you're always going to have misspellings either with names or emails or signatures. So that's inevitably going to happen. But it notices that this word is all weird and that this isn't right. So you can fix things again with that. I don't think it's going to fix this word. Yeah, no suggestions. But you can fix things that way. I can clear it, and I'm going to hit fix. Okay. So Zimbra will highlight misspelled words for you. So now I can send it off, and I send it to me. Oh, I don't want to correct them because I know that they are in my signature. So I'm going to hit no. And now it's sent off. Okay. So now that I'm in my inbox, another thing you're going to want to do in email is to reply. Well, here's my new email that I just got. Ta-da. Well, I want to reply to myself. Here's reply. And if you're replying to more than one person, here's your reply all. Okay. Or if you want to forward to someone, they're right here. They're kind of in the middle. So I can reply to myself. It replies to me. But let's say I wanted to add somebody on. I want to CC somebody. And I'm going to pick Barb Anakire. So now I've CC'd her. Okay. So you can change things while you're still with an email going back and forth and, add more people into your conversation. All right. Let's cancel out of that. Okay, I'm back in my inbox. I'm going to show you a couple more things. So I have some emails here, and I want to show you ways to organize your emails. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have this like blue tag next to a particular email. You can tag emails, all right? So you can still flag emails as important, completely up to you, but I'm starting to pick up this habit of putting these tags on it, okay? What that means is I'm color coding or I'm organizing my emails even further. Maybe some of them have to do with professional development. Maybe some of them are personal and dealing with all my home reconstruction that I've been doing forever. Or maybe some of them deal with students, okay? You can flag emails as well. So I'm going to show you. So I just got this one from PBS for professional development. And as the day goes, I don't have time to read this right now. I'll get to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag this. And you have this picture of a tag. So I'm going to tag, and if you notice, I have Study Island tag and I have a house tag. I'm going to make a new tag, and I'm going to call it PD. And you can pick whatever color you'd like. So for PD, I don't know, let's make it cyan, okay? Done. So I now have this cyan color tag next to this, and it's considered group PD. Why is this useful? Pretty cool to organize stuff. Let me show you. Notice in here, you may have this collapse when you first log in, but I have tags. What I can do now is, since I've tagged these different categories, I can say, oh, go to all the PD ones. They're my PD ones. Let's go to ones that deal with Study Island. Let's go to ones that deal with the house. How about the ones that are red category? And red category are ones that I've flagged from before. Okay, so tags might help you organize some stuff as well as your folders. Okay, so let's say you make folders and you have different folders that you want to move things to. I'm going to go back to my inbox. Here are all my emails. And let's say I wanted to take this PBS professional development one, and I'm going to move it to a certain folder. Well, what's cool about Zimbra is if you check off some folders that you want to move, you grab them, and you hold on to this, and you literally drag this over. Now, did you notice I went from red to green? Red means I'm not going to be able to do anything because that's already where it is, and I can't move it there. But if it highlights green, I can move those to a folder. So if I had a different folder, let's say in this cabinet, I had some other folders of things, you can just drop them in there. Okay, so I'm going to drop in this old PLC. Boom, done. Okay, so you can move things around. So I'm going to go back into this PLC folder, and I'm going to move these things back into my inbox. So I'm just going to go like that in my inbox. Okay, and go back to my inbox. So now they're here again. So that's kind of cool. You can organize by color, by tag. You can drag and move things around by folders, whatever works for you. You could probably have colors within your folders if you're uber organized. All right. One more small thing, and this was in the other video, but just to recap, I have my right reading pane on, and how you control that is by going to View. You can move your reading pane to the bottom, and when you're doing that, you can also drag the size of this to control it. So this is completely personal preference. You can actually turn the reading pane off completely so that all you see is your emails, and you have to double click to open them. So if I open one up, I would have my email, oh, pop-up blocked. I need to allow pop-up. So if you get that message, just allow it. It should be good. Ta-da! Okay, so you can do it that way as well. I like the right reading pane. That's my thing. So a pane on the right, and then what you can do is if you like it this way, you can also make this bigger or smaller depending on what you want to see. Okay? Well, I hope this helps you guys out and that you enjoy using Zimbra. Thanks, guys!